went up, or why are property taxes high, or how can I avoid surprises, then this live is for you. So stay with me because today I'm going to be breaking down property taxes 101 in a very, very simple way for you. First, we need to start with the basics. What are property taxes? Well, property taxes are annual taxes that we pay for owning a home. In Texas, we do not have a state income taxes like in other states like California. So they use our property taxes to pay for schools, roads, fire departments, police departments, and other local services that you need in your community. So that's why sometimes you say, okay, why they're high? Well, we need them to pay for schools and roads and all these things that we need. And how do they calculate property taxes? How do you know what are they based on? Well, they are based on your home value and the tax rate that is set by your local tax authorities. Now, something to remember, that every place has its own tax rate. It's different everywhere. Even if it's the same county, the same city, each neighborhood might have a different tax rate. And this is because it depends, like I said previously, we use them for roads and all this. So they need to know how much, what's close to your home and what you need to pay for. And also, it depends a lot what the builder used to develop that community or that neighborhood. Because sometimes they use mud districts to develop all the utilities, or they can have a pit district. So depending on that, that is also added in your taxes and your tax rate. That's how they calculate your tax rate, and that's how they calculate your taxes. So what they're gonna do is, once they set the value of your homes based on comparables or anything they use to set the value of the home, they multiply that value times the percentage of the tax rate, and that's how they come up with how much property taxes each one of us or each one of the homeowners need to pay. Um, and how do you pay taxes? So if this is your first time that you're going to pay taxes, maybe you already did it, or it's going to be the first time, or you are planning on buying a home, most of the time the homeowners don't pay the property taxes directly. If you have a mortgage, the mortgage is going to pay the taxes for you. So every month, because your in your monthly payment, it's included your principal, your interest, your property taxes, and your home insurance. They create an escrow account for you, and every month that you're paying your monthly payment, they're taking a little bit for your property taxes. They keep that in that account, so whenever your taxes are due, the lenders or the bank is gonna pay that for you. So usually you don't have to worry about that unless you don't have a mortgage, or if your mortgage is set to pay only principal and interest, then you need to pay your taxes by yourself. Um, but that's how you pay them. And how, or sometimes we say, why do property taxes need to go up? This is what causes your payment to go up as well. If you even if you have a fixed rate, fixed terms in your loan mortgage, the principal and the interest is going to stay the same for whatever time you got it. If you got it for 15 years, 30 years, that's not going to change. But what's going to change is your escrow account, which includes your property taxes and your insurance. So if your home value goes up, of course the property taxes are gonna go up. And this is happening sometimes in places that are developing. Sometimes, like example, Manor. Right now we got the HEB, we got a lot of stores in there, so that's creating the values to go up, and of course the taxes are going to go up as well. So that's gonna increase your mortgage payment as well. Another reason is whenever you buy new construction, and this is very important. You need to be careful with this one, because whenever you buy a new construction, usually the taxes are being paid only on the land by itself. And we've had some other information about this, but this is, please pay attention to that, because I've seen surprises that are not very pleasant whenever they don't pay attention to this when it's been explained. They only charge you taxes on the raw land, so of course the taxes are gonna be low, and sometimes are really, really, really low. By the next year, once the home is already completed and then they have a new owner, the taxing county, they notice that there's a home already, and of course the value is more than just the road line itself. So what it does, it's now they're gonna do and charge taxes on the new value with the home included, and that's gonna increase a lot. And that sometimes doesn't happen on the first year. It can take up to 2 years for it to happen. So please be prepared for that. If you are unsure if you got a new construction and you don't know, or it hasn't been explained, reach out to your realtor or to your mortgage company so they can explain this to you and you can be prepared, because your mortgage payment is going to go up in the first or the second year after you buy your new construction home. Another reason that makes it increase is if you don't apply for a homestead exemption. That saves you some money, so if you don't apply for that, that can also go up. And if you purchase a resale home, sometimes the lenders calculate the taxes based on previous bills, and maybe the previous owner had some exemptions that you don't qualify for, because the exemptions don't transfer automatically, so that can also make your property taxes to increase. And speaking of homestead exemptions, I know we have many times we already mentioned about homestead exemption, and it's because it's really important. If you qualify for this, make sure you go and apply for that. It gives you a lot of benefits, because that makes your value, your taxable value, to be less, because one thing is the home value and the other one is the taxable value, what they charge you taxes on. So you can apply for homestead, and not only for this, but there's many exemptions that you can apply for: 65 or older, ag exemption, many different ones. So make sure you apply for every single exemption. That way you can keep your taxes as low as possible. And another way, another benefit is it protects you from big increases at once. So they can increase your property taxes even if you have the exemption, but they cannot increase it in big increases, we can say. They have a limit of how much they can increase it for. And speaking of this, there are some dates, very important dates, that you need to remember in regards to property taxes. So the first thing you need to know is the property taxes. They usually send the bills in the spring. So maybe at the beginning of the year, some people, it's already getting their home values. That's good to know, because once you get your value, then you have an idea of how much your property taxes are going to be, and you know if your mortgage payment is going to go up, it's going to stay the same, or it's going to be less. So pay attention to that, so you know what the value is. And another reason why you need to know that, it's because then remember that we have the right to protest our taxes every single year. And May 15th usually is the last day to protest. Sometimes it's May 31st, but the safe day is May 15th. So you need to know your value, so then you can protest your value. And speaking of that, I want to take a break, because we usually do an event about protesting. So please stay tuned about this, because it's a free event that we can help you protest your property taxes, and we can help you save some money in there. So, but going back to the dates, taxes are due January 31st. Like I said, homeowners don't pay directly. Most of the homeowners don't pay directly their property taxes. The banks or the lenders do it for you, and more likely they're being already paid. But if you're not sure, you can go back to your bank statement, and it usually shows you once they make that payment for you. They usually make the payments by the end of December, so I'm sure that your taxes have already been paid. But reach out if you have any questions. And some mistakes that I see that people do or don't do is they don't apply for homestead exemptions, so property taxes go up. They don't plan whenever they buy new construction, so don't let that be you. Prepare, ask questions, and thinking that taxes are the same everywhere. Remember that every single neighborhood has its own tax rate, so be prepared for that. And also you can check that whenever if you're planning to buy. That's something important to see. The lower the rate, the less property taxes that you pay. But if you have any questions, I know this is too much. This might sound overwhelming, but my intention is only to educate you and empower you. And just remember that everyone can own a little piece of Texas. We just need the right plan to make it happen. And I'm here for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. My number is 512-938-2288. You can call me or text me anytime for any real estate question. We'll see you in the next time, and I hope you have an amazing weekend.